Hi everyone, I'm Liz.
I'm Sissy.
I'm Charlie.
And welcome back to Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. Hi guys, welcome back to another Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch show. This is a weekly show where I talk to you guys about everything that I've been making and crafting, knitting, sewing, cross stitch. I do a little bit of everything around here and I'm going to share it with you guys today. This week has been a bit of a busy one again, work-wise. So I feel like I touched a lot of things, but again, didn't get a ton of progress on everything. But I do have a really big finish to share with you and a lot of other fun knitting updates, including a new start because some yarn came in the mail and I had to drop everything and start something. So yeah, I think we're gonna start with cross stitch today. And then we'll do some knitting, and then I have some very special guests to join me for a quilting segment. Yeah, let's get into the crafts. Okay, we're gonna start this week with a cross stitch FFO, which is a fully finished object. And I have my Love Boat sampler all finished and framed, and I am 10 out of 10, 100 out of 10 excited about how this turned out. This is the Love Boats by Ardith Design, and I picked this up at Nashville Needlework Market a couple of years ago and stitched this as a stitch along with my friends Elizabeth, Frizzy Lizzy Stitches, and Shiloh, X Stitch MD. Well, two of us finished these this year, and I really wanted to get mine framed. The reason I fell in love with this piece was for the pink and red and bright blue color palette, and so I knew I wanted some sort of bright, colorful frame to kind of just tie it all together and like make it even more colorful and fun. And so I actually found this frame on Etsy. It is a handmade frame and it's absolutely beautiful, hand painted, this really pretty lacquer wood finish. And yeah, I think it turned out so well. And I did film it for you. I filmed a framing, like kind of a frame with me, finish with me style video where I give you all of my tips and tricks for framing at home, using store-bought frames, how to choose a frame size, just different tips and tricks when you want to do your own framing of cross stitch at home. You know, that video will be coming soon, but for now, I just wanted to share with you what the finished product looks like as part of my weekly update. I stitched this on a 36 count Charlotte's Pink fabric by Weeks Dye Works, and I used a floss palette that I created based on the original color. So this looks very similar to what the designer calls for, but I just picked out of my overdyed floss stash. And you know, I'll give you one last lingering look at it before I put it down because it's just so pretty. I love it. And that is my Love Boat sampler. And then this week I have worked on one cross stitch whip, which is my Halloween Party by Nath Nolu. This is a designer with an Etsy shop that is new to me that I found a few weeks ago, and I have been stitching on this Halloween Party chart for a couple of weeks. And here is what my progress looks like. I am at 65% complete. I really just have all of this fill in, the ghost and then the background here in this little frame left to do. I've kind of done the most fun parts. So now I just got to motivate myself to do all the fill in, but it's so stinking cute. I really want to get this done. So I am stitching this on a 40 count piece of fabric flare linen, and this is a printed linen, so it's white on the back and then it's printed with this denim dyed effect on the front, and I am using one strand of all of the called for DMC flosses. And it's so cute. I love the shading. I love the little black cat that matches our Diego. I tried to convince him to be in the video segment with me and my mom and my nephew earlier, and he was not having it. Hi,
I see the
Diego.
claws out.
He doesn't love to be held. Sometimes. Anyways, that is my cross stitch updates for the week. Okay, now we're gonna move on to knitting, and I'm gonna start with what I'm wearing. I am wearing the Northwoods V-neck by Jessie Made Designs, and I stitched this last fall, maybe winter. It might have been this year, actually. I can't remember when I finished this. Sometime within the last year. And we actually had 2 days this week that were almost fall, like highs in the 70s, lows in the 50s. And yeah, both days I wore a handmade sweater to work because I got to take advantage of my opportunities. It is back up into the 80s today, so as soon as I'm done filming, I will have to take the sweater off, but it's so nice and cozy right now. I knit this using mostly a mystery DK pack from Woolberry Fiber. I think I put something in there about like warm neutrals or cool neutrals. I can't remember, but I got this really beautiful palette of colors. I guess you can see most of them on the arm. And then I added in a couple of Madeline Tosh DK colors to fill out the 6 colors that I needed for this sweater. And yeah, I just love the big chunky stripes. I like the drop shoulder, the V-neck. I do know that I modified this V-neck to be slightly less deep than the Northwoods V calls for. And I'm really happy I did that because I feel like I can wear it with nothing underneath and, you know, not be worried about showing too much skin in a sweater. But yeah, it's all DK superwash merino, and it's a lovely, soft, comfy, oversized, just kind of sweatshirt style. And I think it looks super cute with jeans and like boots. So yeah, I was very happy to get to wear this one this week. Okay, let's talk about what I've actually been knitting on this week, and we'll go ahead and just start with the new start because that's the most exciting thing. So if you saw my fall knitting plans video, I talked about the Traveler hoodie by Andrea Mowry and about the yarn that I had ordered for it, and I said something in that video about how the second the yarn got here, I would be starting that hoodie. And it did take me a couple of days after the yarn got here, but I did get it started. And this is the yarn. Oh, so pretty. This is from Woolberry Fiber, and it is called Bouquet of Sharpened Pencils. Oh, I'm just realizing I wrote that wrong on my Instagram yesterday. I think I called this color graphite. I'll have to go edit it. It's actually called Bouquet of Sharpened Pencils, which is very cute. I knew it had something to do with pencils, but anyways, it's this really pretty brown, like medium brown that has like a gray undertone to it. And I've been wanting to make the Traveler hoodie since I saw Nitty Natty knit hers, and then I saw it in person at Flock. And I love, you guys know how much I love bright colors, but I wanted this to be more of a staple, basic, neutral color. So, you know, I picked this lovely kind of neutral brown shade. And the yarn came and I got it started a couple of days later. So this is my little start. This is a bottom-up sweater, so it feels like, what am I showing here? I'm just showing a tube, basically. But yeah, that's what it looks like so far. You start with the bottom ribbing, and then you start with the stitch pattern, which are these kind of alternating stockinette and reverse stockinette you know, stitches to kind of give you this cool little texture rings around the sweater. Texture rings? I don't know what I'm talking about. Textured stripes. It's just such a cool looking sweater. And I definitely want mine to be a more cropped look like Andrea shows in the pattern, but I think it calls for the body to be something like 8 or 9 inches, which is just too short. So I know I'll have to make mine a little bit longer than she calls for, but supposedly this fabric grows a ton. I'm saying supposedly. I should say I know how much it grows because I've done a full swatch. I didn't do a full swatch. I did a swatch for stitch gauge, but I did not block the swatch and figure out how much it's going to grow, which I realize could be an issue later. But here's how I think I'm going to lower the risk with not swatching. Basically, I am going to take this off and try this on just around my waist to make sure the width is good. I already checked my stitch gauge, so I know it should be the measurement that I think it should be, but I'm just going to double check that. And then as I knit the body of this, when I get close to where I think I need to separate for the underarms, I'm going to take this off and completely block it. And then I will try it on and see how long it actually is on me and know if I need to add any length or if I'm good to go. So I am planning to kind of block this one prior to the end of the project just to make sure that I'm getting a good fit, because obviously, like, you're just knitting to the underarm, so you can knit that as long or as short as you want to make it fit for your body. And I did buy 7 skeins of the sport weight merino. Based on the pattern, I think I'm going to need almost all of 6. So I went ahead and bought a 7th, and that way if I need to add any significant length to the pattern in the body or in the arms, I have a whole extra skein to get me the length that I want. So that's kind of my plan. And I did spend a couple of days this week getting this cast on and getting all of the ribbing and a couple pattern repeats done. And now I am honestly trying to set this one aside and finish some of my other projects that I have going that are much closer to a finish. The urge to get this started was so strong that I just went with it and I did it. But I am trying to put this one down for a minute and finish some other things first, but you know, we'll see how it goes. I am stitching this with all the called for needle sizes and sport weight yarn, and so far no modifications, but yeah, I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, next up is my Cumulus tee by Petite Knit. And this is the one where I am fixing the length, and this is what it looks like. I am not going to spend long on this one because these updates are so boring until I get the length I want. I have about 1 inch of length added, and I need to add about 2 more inches. Ooh, but actually, you know what I should do? So I've knit almost 1 inch of length with my leftover ball of yarn, and I know this was 17 grams before I started, so I should actually weigh this really quickly and see if I've got about 1 inch, how much is left and how many more inches do I think I can really get out of my scraps? Because if I need to order more yarn, I should just do it now so that it's here by the time I run out of this little ball. Yeah, let's do that. Let me grab my little yarn scale and let's see how much yarn I have left. Okay, let's see. Oh no. I only have 9 grams of yarn left, meaning I've used almost half of what I have, and I don't even know if I have a full 1 inch of extra fabric. Okay, I'm definitely going to need to order another skein of that. That is good to know. I don't think 2 inches is going to cut it. Shoot, now I'm wondering if I should do the 2 inches and try it on and make sure so I don't order yarn unnecessarily. We'll see. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need some more yarn to finish this. Okay, well that's fine. I've talked about this so much, so I won't belabor it. I knit this to pattern except for shortening the sleeves. Obsessed with the pattern, obsessed with the yarn. I just accidentally knit it a little too short and then shrank it a tiny bit, but I'm fixing it. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on my progress after I order some more yarn for this, apparently. Oops. Okay, that's the Cumulus tee. Okay, the last knitting project that I have to show you is in one of my favorite bags. It's Halloween themed, so, you know, I gotta give it a little shout out. This is what I am affectionately calling my Muppet sweater because of the soft and fluffy yarns that I am using. Almost out of this last skein of fluff. Not last skein, the current skein. I have 1 more left. And to be honest, I thought I might be able to finish this whole sweater without breaking into the 4th skein, but I am going to need to break it open because, you guys, this sweater isn't done yet. It could have been done a couple of weeks ago, to be honest, or 2 weekends ago, but other things have been distracting me, and I know I can't wear this anytime soon, so it's been hard to motivate myself to like push through and finish. But here is what the cognac sweater is looking like. I have the whole body done, the first sleeve done, and then I started and got about halfway through the second sleeve this week. And I did try this on last night, so you can see what it looks like on me. Yeah, this is the cognac sweater, which is kind of a large, airy gauge using a fingering weight and a lace weight. And I am knitting it on US size 10 needles as per the pattern. I was able to get gauge. And it's just like a drapey, soft, lightweight, but like super warm and fuzzy sweatshirt type sweater. I think it's so pretty. I really do love the color, and I'm very excited to get to wear this, but it's going to have to be kind of deep winter for me to wear this. So, I mean, obviously this last sleeve should only take a couple more hours. I've just been wanting to work on other projects. So yeah, hopefully I will get this done soon. But in the meantime, I just like to hold it, and like I lay it up on me and just like, I do this a lot with it. But I actually need to finish it because I have so many whips right now, and I feel like so many they could be done if I would just spend some time. And this is definitely the first one on the list that needs to get done. The yarn I am using is from Treehouse. Oh, I always say it wrong. Treehouse Knits or Treehouse Fibers? I'll put it on the screen, of course. And this is her spruce sock and her truffula cashmere lace weight. So beautiful yarn, stuff I got at Flock. I love it, and I'm so happy to be knitting with it. And I kind of made some mistakes when I was ordering, or when I picked out the yarn, because I kind of didn't get enough of the fluff to do a DK weight sweater, which is why I did a larger gauge sweater, because I knew I wasn't going to have enough. But I over ordered the sock weight because I didn't realize the yardage was so different. I just basically bought 4 of the sock and 4 of the lace, but there is a lot more yardage on the sock than the lace weight for that truffula cashmere. So I'm actually going to end up with a full skein and half of this one left over once I'm done with this sweater. So I'm wondering if a skein and a half of fingering weight would be enough to do like a tank top, like maybe the mini mock neck tank or the Sailor Swift or something like that. So yeah, we'll see what I end up doing with the leftovers. But for now, that is my cognac sweater. Okay, so that is all the knitting. I have been really having to withhold myself from starting everything from my fall knitting plans video, especially the stripe pipe. I have several friends here on YouTube, Marjorie, Bridgen, Liz Matthews, Cam, the Stitcher. We have a little stripe hype group chat because we all want to start a stripe hype sometime soon. And you guys know from my fall knitting plans, I've got the yarn sitting, waiting, ready to go. My friends are working on kitting up theirs, and yeah, I kind of can't wait to get that started. So I feel like a stripe hype might be coming soon. And then again, that speckled yarn that I showed you, the lace weight Surrey with the sock weight. I want to start something with that soon. You guys gave me a lot of great tips on yarn management for that, in terms of breaking up maybe the lace weight into 2 separate balls and then alternating them between skeins to kind of help with the color pooling, which is an excellent idea and probably what I will start with, and hope that it kind of mitigates the yarn pooling. But yeah, I just have 100 new projects that I want to start, but I really, really want to finish the purple Muppet sweater and my Alpine Bloom, which I think I did 2 rows of knitting on this week. So I didn't bring it in here to show you because it looks the same as it did last week, but that's on the list. And gosh, I just have so many other projects. I should probably do like some kind of knitting whip parade just to remind myself and you guys of everything that's kind of been lingering, and make an assessment on if I think I'm actually going to finish it or if I need to let it go. Yeah, I'm not really good at those kind of decisions usually. I just like let things linger and store them until it becomes apparent that I'm never going to finish it. Which is fine if I have space to store it, but you know, maybe I could do something else with the yarn. Okay, so with that, I think it's time to move on to the quilting and sewing segment. And I have my mom and my nephew Charlie who joined me for that. So let's go. Hi guys, I've got some very special guests with me today. I've got my mom and my nephew, and we are gonna talk about quilts in this segment, I believe. There's no cross stitch, right?
No, I haven't done any cross stitch lately.
Mom has
I'm saving it all up for the retreat.
Yes, we are going on a local cross stitch retreat in 2 weekends, right? 2 weeks from now? So, yay.
Yay.
But we're going to talk about quilting because Mom has been doing a ton, and I have a couple little quilty bits to talk about, but really this is going to be mostly about what Mom's been quilting, and Charlie's going to help us hold up some quilts and show things off. So, let's get into it. Where do you want to start?
Let's see. Let's start with the stuff I have on hand.
Okay.
Finished. So the first one I finished. Another one of my trademark sawtooth star quilts, which Ben found a quilt that I made for Dad's cousin.
Oh, wait, here, Charlie, you want to hold it up for us?
Yeah. And he loved this backing fabric. Allison had bought these fabrics, and it was in that bucket of fabrics you gave me, so I made him. He wanted a star quilt. And then this is the leftover backing, and it is from an oversized king blanket from Costco that I bought, and I've done 3 quilt backs out of it.
Nice.
This was all.
Oh, you've done 3 from the same blanket?
From the same blanket. I got 3 quilt. One was a baby quilt,
wow.
but 2, bigger size. So anyway... And then out of the scraps that I had left, I made him this little patchwork quilt. So I just had a bunch of random strips that I just kind of quilt as you go and put some fuzzy stuff on the back.
Let's show him the back. It's got the fuzzy stuff on the back and a nice little zipper. Did you use a pillow form or did you stop?
I did. I bought a pillow form. Yeah. So...
Cute.
So that was one.
Okay.
And then another one that I did was for Andy. So Charlie, can you get that one? Yeah. And we're not going to unfold it because it's so big. And
we'll do a big picture of it outside.
Yeah, this is actually a Denise Schmidt quilt kit that I bought, and it was the first quilt top I finished after I retired. It's called My Sunshine, and it was made with Darling Fabrics, a layer cake for the front, and then some random solids that were sent with the quilt kit. Like
all the fabrics.
All the fabric was part of the kit, and then the back is Tula Pink. This white because he.
What's your brother's favorite color?
Who?
Andy.
Yellow.
Yeah. So he saw the yellow back and said, "Yes, I want that quilt."
Yes.
The front, I don't know that he was that impressed with, but
it's very impressive, and it's a full queen size quilt.
It is. It's like 93 by 94. It's a big one.
Yeah.
So
that's bigger than his bed.
Yeah.
And is that his?
And then hold up his pillow, Charlie. So I had a few scraps left, and
here, let's hold it up in front of the camera.
I made him this little pillow with the scraps. So yeah.
It's very cute. Did you follow a pattern, or you just
no? I started out doing that scintillation block with the 5 by 10 squares, and then I laid them down, and they were kind of all jumbled together, and I was like, that's not. Let's try something different. So yeah,
it's very cute. We have pictures of quilts to share.
I have some pictures to share.
Okay.
So
here, real quick before we do pictures, I have one quilt that I want to share that's an older finish of mine. This is a quilt that I actually finished in 2020, so 4 years ago. This is like the very first quilt I had finished and shown off on my FlossTube channel when I was just starting to film. And I showed this recently on my Instagram, and some people asked me about it, so I thought I would just show it off here since we've been using it this season. And this is an Irish chain quilt, just a very basic 9-patch Irish chain made with a jelly roll. And I believe it was a Bonnie and Camille kind of Halloween. No, it was Fig Tree Fabrics. It was like a Fig Tree Fabrics Halloween jelly roll that I just used with some Moda kind of cream. And yeah, I love this. We use this, I mean, kind of year round, but really it's, my favorite fall Halloween quilt. And I just thought I would show it off because
very cute.
It's one of my faves. So let's go through the quilts that you have pictures of.
Okay, so Let me get back to my list because I can't remember anything unless I write it down. So Isla got her trip around the world quilt when Sam came back for a visit in September. So I was able to make her a pillow while he was here out of her binding scraps. So she and Sophia have their pillows and blankets matching together now.
Did I see their pillow before they left?
I don't think so. It's pink and white squares.
Cool.
Yeah. And then I did a couple more sawtooth star quilt. One is with, and they were both, one was an 80th birthday quilt, one was a 90th birthday quilt.
Nice.
One was using fabrics by Nantucket Summer by Camille Roskelly.
Oh, yeah.
It was a fat quarter bundle. And I have found that with a 12 fat quarter bundle, if you pair them up, you can get a 3x4 sawtooth star quilt out of 12 fat quarters.
Yeah.
Without
pretty
having
much.
to get
12 fat
contrasting
quarters.
fabric.
You could get 12 blocks. Yeah, that's how I did
16-inch blocks.
Yeah.
So, and then the second one I did was using a fabric called Sunnyside. It was also by Camille Roskelly.
Yes.
It was another fat quarter. So they're both kind of blues and greens. One is more muted blues and greens, and the other one is a really bright blues and greens. And then I did another scintillation quilt, the one with the diamonds, and these were vertical. So this one was for Abby.
Yes.
And that one's already off to Arkansas.
Yeah.
So she got it. So those are the ones that I've finished.
Okay.
Since we were here last. So.
And you have an in progress one to share?
I have an in progress one that.
Is that the one that was on the bed when you were at the sleepover?
It is. In between their sleepovers, I use that bed as my design wall. So I have 3 different blocks. So this is another trip around the world quilt. So this is 1. This is 2.
Pretty.
And this is 3. So they're all very similar. I ordered from Fat Quarter Shop, I ordered this Fat Quarter Bonanza. So it's basically a surprise.
Like a mystery fat quarter bundle for a discount.
Yeah. And so this is the one I got. I think it's called Happy Holidays.
Yeah, you can see there's like little fall motifs. Little owls and pumpkins and Thanksgiving kind of thing.
Says it. Oh, and it says it right there in the block.
Holidays. And this one says Happy Fall, y'all.
Yeah.
Very cute.
So I always like to try, like the scrap bags or the mystery, just to see, something fun. So when I got it at first, I thought, I don't really have a Thanksgiving quilt, but are these my colors? I usually go a little more bright, but. I thought I had just finished that scrappy trip around the world quilt, and I thought, if I cut this fabric up real small and mix it in with this, kind of neutral background, might be, and it actually turns out, so the funny thing is, I guess these really are my colors because my couch is this dark brown leather color. And my pillows on my couch are this kind of sage green color.
Yeah, so it's really
and it all goes with
I feel
it.
like your recliner might be.
Yeah, the recliners are actually a tan color. So yeah, you're right, Charlie. They all. And then Elizabeth has a whole tutorial, but I thought. You look at these blocks and you think, oh my gosh, sewing all those squares together must be just horrible. But really, you make a tube and then you cut it into all these pieces.
Yeah, it's a really kind of non-intimidating type of construction once you break it down.
Yeah.
I followed a blog tutorial and then I just made videos of myself making my quilt a couple of years ago. So I have a full video series if you're interested in making a trip around the world quilt. And they're really pretty easy to put together.
They really are.
And you could just use a jelly roll, which, helps with the pre-cutting and everything. So I'll link that video series down below if anybody else wants to make a trip around the world quilt. So.
Yeah. So I used 12 fat quarters, and then I had the neutral was a bunch of leftover backing fabric.
Oh, wow.
That I had. So
Nice.
I thought, it's too small to make, another quilt back with. So I just cut it up into a bunch of strips, and so it'll make 4 blocks by 5 blocks, so 20 blocks.
Perfect.
Well, I actually make 21, but
Yeah,
3
you
by
only need
7.
20. Yeah.
So anyway, so that's the one that I have that's in progress, and I'm really pushing myself to finish that one because I really, really want to start on my next one that I just had to bring and show, which is yet from another Fat Quarter surprise bundle.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this is an Anna Maria Horner bundle, and these colors are, you know, just super bright and vibrant. So I've paired them up, and I'm going to make a double wedding ring lap quilt for myself. And I saw this pattern.
A lap quilt? I didn't even realize you're making a smaller one.
Yeah, I'm going to make a smaller one. So I saw this pattern on Victoria Finley Wolf's Instagram feed about how she, for some variation for the inside of the wedding ring, the centerpiece, she'll get a couple of different types of neutrals and do like sew 4 blocks together, and then she'll put her template on and cut it out, and then she'll take the leftovers and match them up and sew them together, and then cut the melon out of that leftover fabric. So there's hardly any fabric waste. And that was really
right up your alley.
Right up my alley. So I'm going to try that, and I'm going to, the way these are paired, so each one will be part of the, you know, half of the square. So I'll do opposite corners. And then for the arcs, I had, and for my scrap bags, I had a couple of pieces of this Lori Holt.
I think it's B cross stitch. It's like a basic from Lori Holt.
Yeah.
It's just the little X's. It's super cute.
B cross stitch,
Yeah.
So I have pink, I have green, and then I was looking through, and I had some kind of a
peach
or yellow gold color. I don't know, another neutral that I thought these would look.
Yeah, it'll be
So I'm
perfect
gonna
with all the
make
bright colors.
The big arcs that you normally piece with a bunch of different pieces of fabric. Those are going to be white.
Yeah.
And then the melons and the centerpiece will be the bright fabrics, and then the corner squares will be out of this.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
What's
that, Charlie? Okay, well, you know.
We're filming a video.
Video. Your stomach will have to wait.
Okay, and then do you have any other quilt stuff to talk about? Or just in like haul, right?
Yeah, I have a lot of haul, I'm embarrassed to say.
Okay, well, I'll start with my haul because I just have one little piece that I wanted to share. I, a couple of years ago, bought the Ruby Star, I think 10-year anniversary panel and made the quilt that was like kitted and patterned with that panel in mind. And then this year they had another anniversary quilt panel come out, and it's so cute. And it's got larger squares and smaller squares and all kinds of their little iconic illustrations from their fabrics. And so I got the full panel, and I haven't bought anything else to go with it, but my plan is I have all of those Ruby Star quarterly club kits that I get that are Fat Quarter bundles of Ruby Star fabrics. So I have a ton of Ruby Star fabric in my stash, and what I want to do is cut out these squares and use them as centers for scrappy log cabin blocks, because I feel like I can just cut up all my scraps and I can do like a pink, you know, half and a different color, you know, like I can kind of color coordinate all my scraps and then just do a scrappy log cabin block to go with all of these fun squares. And I'll figure out, you know, if I use a smaller square or a larger square, like how many strips would need to go around it to make all the same size blocks.
How fun.
Right? I just feel like it'd be kind of fun. So that is my idea and my plan, because I've got so much Ruby Star fabric and I love it all, and I just feel like it'd be a very fun, scrappy way to make a quilt. So,
yeah.
Yay. That's my little bit of haul. I had ordered this like back in June, and it just came this week. Any other haul you want to show off?
So next year, me and my 2 girlfriends from high school are hitting another milestone birthday. So I need to update their quilts, because the last one I made them was when we all turned 50. So anyway, this will be...
Which was last year.
Yeah. So I ordered some other fabric from this line. I think
It's called Heartfelt by Jerry Robinson for Riley Blake. Show that there.
Yeah, so she likes red and she likes the darker shades. So I got I'm going to do a sawtooth star with a dark red for the corner squares and for the V part of the star.
Like the background of the star.
The background of the
behind
star.
Behind
the star, yeah.
Super pretty.
So
fun.
Yeah, so, and I know last time I was here, I had just got my kit for the cave facet mystery quilt.
Have you worked on it?
No.
Okay.
So, and the reason why is right after I got it, Melanie and Sam and the girls were here, and so we were off doing stuff and everything. So I didn't sew for over a month and had my whole room, that was their bedroom, so I was not in there. So anyway, and then it was like, well, we're already, over halfway through the mystery pieces. I'm going to see what it looks like. Yeah. So I'm waiting. I think they may have released all the pieces by now. And then at one point I got an email they were short some fabric, so I had to wait for that to come in. So I haven't cut anything, bottom line.
But you have it all now?
But I have it all now. I have the backing, and I'm ready to go.
That's
but
exciting.
I'll know what it's going to be before I start it.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, but
well,
I have lots of plans. And
Charlie, are there any crafts that you like to work on that you want to tell us about?
Well, not quilts, but...
Like drawing? Like what are your artistic, crafty hobbies?
Well, I'm pretty good at drawing crocodiles and alligators.
Yeah? Those two specifically?
And Godzilla.
Do you also like to do things like Legos? Oh, wait. Okay, stay here. I want to show you something. Look. You ready?
What?
I know. It lights up.
How does that work?
There's a little light up brick inside of it. Oh, isn't that cool?
Cute.
And so then there's like little holes for the eyes and the mouth, and you just set that in there.
How long did that take you to make?
Maybe an hour or two.
That's it.
I'm very fast at Legos. When I'm not crafting, I do like to be Legoing, so.
Very cute.
And with that, I think we'll end this segment.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys for coming, and we'll see y'all later.
All right. Bye, guys.
Okay, with that, I think we've reached the end of the video for this week. I have a fun cross-stitch retreat coming up in a couple of weekends with my mom that I'm hoping to vlog and bring you guys all with us. I'm very excited. We're staying in a very cool place. Last year, we stayed at like a Wingate or a Wyndham something hotel that was, okay. But we're staying at what looks like a much nicer kind of cabin, almost it's like a 2-bedroom apartment almost. It looks very cool. I'm excited to see it. It's at like a new spot in New Braunfels this year, and I think it's a slightly bigger, like more people. What am I trying to say? Like there's going to be more people at the retreat this year. So I'm excited to see everyone from last year and meet new people and spend the weekend with my mom stitching. I need to decide what all I want to stitch on because last year I mostly stitched on the Brenda Gervais Christmas piece. I'm forgetting the name of it, but I'll put it in here. And since last year, I have switched to becoming an iPad stitcher. I stitch with Markup RXP. That's just kind of the only way I like to stitch now. So I need to spend some time scanning that document and getting it set up in my iPad because I really would like to go back to that cross stitch piece. The retreat is November 1st through 3rd. So like the day after Halloween. And for me, Christmas starts the day after Halloween. So I would love to do some Christmas stitching that weekend, but that means I need to do some pre-work to set stuff up on my iPad because I don't know why. It's like ever since I learned about Markup RXP and learned how to use it, I just don't want to stitch from paper anymore. So I need all these designers to like have a digital download option now because I need everything on my iPad. And I have been like, if a digital PDF exists, even though I've already bought the paper, I have been going and buying digital versions just to make it easier to put on my iPad, but I can't do that for my entire stash. And some designers don't even offer PDFs. So then I have to do all the manual work, but I'll figure it out because that's just kind of the only way I've been liking to stitch this last year. I'm gonna blame my friend Shiloh and Lauren for teaching me how to use markup. Speaking of Lauren, oh my gosh, Lauren, the New Hampshire Stitcher, she is finally back with a new FlossTube episode. It's a crazy finish and whip parade. You should definitely go watch it if you're needing a little bit of cross stitch inspiration. It's awesome, and I'm so happy she filmed again and gave us some more wonderful stitching content. She's had a busy few months and she'll tell you all about it in her new video. But yeah. Okay, I think that's the end of the video for this week. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thank you to my mom and my nephew Charlie for coming over today, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I'm very fast at Legos.